Semifinals from the SEC tournament in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Auburn, South Carolina to start us off, followed by Alabama and Tennessee as we welcome you to the SEC on ESPN. Winners today move on to the championship game tomorrow. Beth Mowens, along with Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe is with us as well. If that winner happens to be South Carolina today, it would be historic as they have become the story of this tournament as a 10 seed with 2 wins already.
They have been fun to watch and really kind of been the story of the season when you think about how South Carolina got here. Not just the extra innings, but the pitching. Only giving up 1 earned run in their route to get here. Donnie Gobourn is a must-watch, a power pitcher. Of course, she's got some of the best defense in the country behind her, starting with left fielder Marissa Gonzalez, some great plays. And then the offense, Brooke Blankenship at the bottom of the lineup, just enough. They've only had 3 runs in those 2 games to get to this point, but because of their pitching and defense, they win the games.
And for South Carolina, they will take on the 3-seed Auburn Tigers, who have also shown some pretty good fight, Michelle. Come from behind win for them in their opener in defense of their pitcher of the year, Maddie Penta.
Yeah, Maddie Penta was outstanding against Ole Miss. It really was a battle, though, back and forth. And, you know, when you have a SEC pitcher of the year in the circle, you expect some great things. But this was really what it was all about. Isis Tresvik with this 2-run shot. It was not too little. It went well over the fence, and that blast was all that Maddie Penta really needed. She struggled at the beginning, came back in to get the win, and Maddie admitted to herself, like, it wasn't my best game, still able to get that victory, the SEC Pitcher of the Year, hoping to have a little bit better outing today against South Carolina.
Let's check out the scouting report for Maddie. And it was she and Montana Fouts and Ashley Rogers, the 3 that were up for that award.
Well, that's because she can throw a rise ball at the top of the zone, but it's her changeup that really helps set everything else up. She has the ability to spin this rise ball, really good rotation. When she puts it under the hands of those righties, she is just tough to hit. A 34% whiff rate, one of the best in the country as well as in the SEC. That's even better than Gobourn and Fouts.
And she is ready to go for Auburn. The Tigers also playing for an opportunity to stay at home for the opening weekend of the SEC, the NCAA tournament rather. They are on the host bubble and fighting to impress the selection committee with their resume and see if they can get into the SEC championship game and bring home a trophy. And for South Carolina, they are excited about a big turnaround this season. They too will be headed back to the NCAA tournament after a few years away. And can the Gamecocks keep it going? Riley Blampede already in this SEC tournament, game-winning RBI against Texas A&M, a solo home run against Georgia. For Bev Smith, 2 hits in their first game, and they didn't need many more against Georgia to keep the biggest bats in the SEC this year quiet for the win. Now in her 13th year, over 400 wins for Bev. And on the other side, it's year number 6 for Mickey Dean, trying to get back to the SEC championship game for the first time under his tenure. Tigers won championships back-to-back in 2015 and 2016. South Carolina hopes to fight tomorrow for their first SEC championship since the very first season of SEC softball back in 1997. When pitcher Trinity Johnson led them to the title.
Hey, let's play.
Alabama and Tennessee on deck in the second semi coming up next. And we are ready to go for the first spot in the championship game.
Oh, bring it in.
And the first pitch, a ball to Jordan Fabian. Brian Crochet, the home plate umpire. Cameron Ellison at first base. Chris Neighbors at third base. Penta out of Chesapeake City, Maryland. 25 wins this year, led the SEC, and the second year in a row for Maddie with a 20-win campaign.
Did a good job in the offseason, really working on a down ball to add to that rise ball and that really good changeup.
Especially because before, when you saw the ball down, it was usually off speed. She's got both.
Oh, bring it in.
Gamecocks have gone from a sub-500 record a year ago to 35-19 this season. And the strikeout to open things up for Penta, 1 down.
This is the pitch that South Carolina is going to have to worry about. It's that changeup. You can see the reverse spin on it, located well over the dish. See the way that she just pops that pitch out. Variation of velocity, hard stuff up near 70 miles an hour, and that pitch coming in the mid-50s.
Here's Zoe Leno in the 2 spot in the order out of Marietta, Georgia, looking for her first hit of the tournament. Going to be at a premium for Fabian and Leno here at the top of the order to try and get the ball in play. That strikeout of Fabian was her 6th of this tournament. Leno already has 5. So to advance, they're going to need a little more chaos from the top of their lineup. They have found the clutch hits so far. Behind the fabulous pitching of Donnie Goborn out of the bullpen. Interested to see what pitches that Penta's going to throw early to try and help her find a little better rhythm. She got knocked out of the game yesterday, struggled early, and then came back in late to close the door.
Well, she looked like her pitches were flat yesterday. She was throwing through her spins, and Mickey Dean has talked about that. You know, she's been a lot more mature this year and usually can make those adjustments, but struggled yesterday.
Well, she talked about being tired at the end of the season, that she wasn't using her legs. Minnie, you know this. And she's like, I was all upper half. And when you're trying to do that, your pitches don't have that same movement, that same spin, but it's not a light switch adjustment.
Well, especially for rise ball pitchers, you really have to use your legs to get underneath that pitch. And when you're tired, you don't really lean back the way you're supposed to. You're a little more upright, so now you're throwing your rise ball from high to higher, and it's not believable, right? The hitters don't swing at it because it's non-competitive. It's high and it goes from high to higher. When you use your legs and you really dig deep and you get underneath that pitch, you're throwing the rise ball from low to high, and that's when you get people to swing through it.
Full count. And Leno draws the walk and a 1-out base runner.
Like that last pitch, it was high, non-competitive. Just went from high to higher.
Riley Blampede in the 3 spot in the order. Out of Cordell, Georgia. She's had a big tournament so far. First pitch swinging, they'll go for the lead runner, and the throw from Bryant sails out into right center field. And runners on second and third for the Gamecocks in an early threat.
And this is one area where Auburn has really struggled this year. That is the 10th error by Denver Bryant, most on the team. This is a routine ground ball that should be a double play, but the throw well offline. Rose Roach, the second baseman, cannot get that into the outfield. You can just see there's no reason why this throw shouldn't be inside and away from Roach. 10th error of the year on Bryant.
And that is the 3rd error of the tournament. Holly?
Well, literally just moments before the game started, I was chatting with Coach Mickey Dean and I asked him what is he most proud of this year and what have they relied on. He said, our defense. They have been fantastic all season long. Just 11 errors in SEC play, but getting into this tournament, he said, we had 2 errors yesterday. I just need them to shake it off and get back to focusing. As soon as that happened, he popped up in the dugout and went right out to talk to them. He knows he's got to settle them down because defense is their strength. They've got to get it together.
And now with the number 4 hitter up, Anaya Black, 2 in scoring position as South Carolina tries to strike early. You know, post-game, Auburn, basically the theme was flush it. We got a win in the first round, but it was sloppy on both sides. And job number 1 coming in today was to clean it up. And now they find themselves trying to work out of a self-inflicted jam here, with a walk and an error to 2 of the first 3 batters. Black opposite way, and coming on is Tresvik to make the catch. But Leno will tag up and the Gamecocks jump in front.
It's a good catch by Tresvik. She could have stayed on her feet. You'll see her leave her feet here just to kind of make sure she makes the grab, but there was plenty of room for actually her to make that catch at the shins, which would not have allowed the run to score. She was running in a line drive. Now South Carolina on the board early.
This isn't like them. They like to wait till the 8th inning to score their runs.
Mixing it up.
They have turned the page. Yeah, they had more runs in extra innings than they did in the first 7 innings of their first 2 games. And Bev Smith says, hey, by any means necessary. We'll take them early, too. Well, and teams that usually do well and go deep into these single elimination tournaments, they take advantage of what their opponents give them, and that was a gift from Auburn here in the first.
Yeah, to your point, Beth, you have to be opportunistic, and you know you're not going to get a lot of chances, so it is always situational. And when your opponent is giving you extra bases, you've got to plate runs.
Julia Desiderio has an RBI opportunity. 2-2, or 3-1, excuse me, to count. Out of Hudson, Florida. 1 for 5 so far in the tournament. And now the count goes full. Another 3-2 pitch. So far, the teams that strike first are 7-2 in this SEC tournament. An event that has already featured 4 extra inning games and 5 upsets. The number 1 seed Tennessee is still in the chase. They've got Alabama in our second semi.
All the games have been pretty close. No real runaways.
Even the ones that felt like they were going to be. Ole Miss, Georgia was 8-8 or 8-7.
Yeah.
And a hit batter. So the second freebie of the inning off of Penta. And she struggled early yesterday and some problems here early today.
Yeah, that rise ball is just getting away from her. So it's almost looking more like a screwball instead of a rise ball. Instead of getting under it, her arm is coming off to the side, maybe her hips a little early.
She had 3 hit batters yesterday, a career high against Ole Miss. Almost 4. They had to bring back one.
Yeah.
It's a rule change here. I know a lot of folks would love to see you have to make an effort to get out of the way of a pitch. You don't have to right now if it's coming at you in the box.
It used to be a rule that you had to make an attempt. It was changed.
I think it's one of the things, though, when your defense is making errors, and we've seen the left side as good as Auburn has been throughout the regular season. The left side of their defense has struggled, and when you start to see that as a pitcher and you are coming inside, you feel like you got to be careful. You got to get that swing and miss.
Yeah.
Florida's Skylar Wallace was the player of the year. Penta the pitcher. Carlin Pickens, we might see her later for Tennessee. She was the rookie of the year for the coach of the year, Karen Wheatley. Out in front, another good off speed to end the threat, but 1 run in for South Carolina to grab the early lead.
The 2023 SEC Softball Tournament on ESPN2 is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet, coming in hot to your hometown. And in part by Volvo XC90 Recharge Plug-in Hybrid.
Bogle Park here in Fayetteville for the SEC Championship semifinals underway. And South Carolina with the early lead over Auburn in our first semi. Here is the batting order for the Tigers coming up, featuring Isis Tresvik in the quarters against Ole Miss. A home run, drove in a couple, and scored 3 times herself. And it's Nelia Peralta to lead off against Carson Oaks. Carson got the start in the Texas A&M game, went 2 2/3, gave up a couple of hits, and did not allow a run. In each of the 2 games, there has been a starter for the Gamecocks that's tried to get halfway through, and then Donnie Goburn has come out of the bullpen and has been electric. See if that continues to be the trend today. Only twice in the first 2 games has a leadoff batter gotten on board against the South Carolina pitchers. Peralta did lead off the game yesterday for Auburn with a base hit.
I got you. Good job.
That last pitch is the changeup that Carson Oaks throws. It almost looks like an off-speed drop, but it can be a lethal pitch for her.
Little flare, and that'll drop in for a base hit out in right field as we send it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, I caught up with South Carolina coach Bev Smith before the game to ask about her pitching plan. Typically, they've been going one time through the lineup and then bringing in Donnie Goburn, but today she's going to go with Carson Oaks because she has a great changeup. She can throw it at any time, and she felt like with the big bats of Auburn and the big swings that the changeup could be an effective weapon. She said the plan A will be to go for Oaks and then Bettenbaugh, bring in Goburn last as a closer and try to give her some good quality innings later in this game. But that's plan A. They'll always go to a plan B if needed.
Good update, Holly. Thank you.
And C and D and E.
Whatever it takes.
Well, and I do agree, too, because, I mean, Oaks, you mentioned Holly is the changeup, and for Battenbaugh and Goburn, their best pitches are up. And so that complement and velocity.
You know, whatever it takes to keep it going. They are the lowest seed to ever reach the semis, tied with Auburn, ironically, as a 10 seed back in 2019. In this, the 26th SEC tournament, no 10 seed has ever reached the finals. And here is Denver Bryant. 2 for 4 against Ole Miss. Had to leave the game briefly. We had shots of her in the dugout with the ice packs on her midsection. Re-entered the game and got another base hit. Chopped to short. They'll go for the lead runner at second. 1 down. I'll bring up Bree Ellis, the sophomore from Houston, who was last year's SEC Freshman of the Year and set a school record with 20 home runs. That snapped the record of 3-time All-American Casey Cooper from her rookie year. Casey, a big part of their SEC championship teams in 2015 and 16. That also resulted in trips to the Women's College World Series. Ellis in foul territory, and the catch is made. 2 down. And that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Isis Tresvik.
She had the big hit on Thursday, the home run. Solidified it for Auburn. She was 2 for 3 in that game with 2 RBIs in this blast.
Down low to Isis. Sophomore out of Wilmington, North Carolina. These two sides met at the end of April just a couple of weeks ago in South Carolina. And Auburn took 2 of 3. Isis had a home run off of Donnie Goborn, actually, in that series. You want to talk about a wild ride. They had back-to-back no-hitters, 1 for each team in that series. In run rule victories. With Goborn and Penta. And the walk drawn by Tresvik, and that'll bump Denver Bryant into scoring position.
Coach was wondering if she attempted.
Able to pull it back. Fly ball out to right center. Blampede under it. Side retired. Couple left on for Auburn. 1-0 Gamecocks.
Welcome back to the SEC softball tournament. And for South Carolina, they are on such a fun ride right now. Bev Smith said throughout the course of the season, the thing she's most proud of is how they've improved. And she is trying to really message that with her team. She said after the regular season, before postseason started, they put together a lot of numbers to show their team, like, look how much better we are. She wanted to believe that they are on a gradual incline, and it's really showing up in some key numbers. For example, their defense has been phenomenal. 77 errors last year, just 30 this season, and 0 so far in this tournament. She wants that improvement, and her team believing that this postseason is theirs for the taking. So far, so good.
Thank you, Holly. 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order coming up for South Carolina. There he you go, the second double-digit seed to reach the semis.
Well, the defense is everything. I mean, we can talk pitching and hitting. Those are the sexy numbers, the fun things to focus on. But if you can play catch, I mean, we're already seeing it in this game. I mean, that is where we've seen more losses, especially the more pressure single elimination tournaments. It comes down to that one play, and South Carolina is first in the SEC when it comes to defense and fielding percentage.
Haley Simpson. One of just 2 lefties in the lineup today for South Carolina. And that's a strike and a strikeout for Maddie Penta. Number 3 for her, 1 down.
Penta continues to use this off-speed pitch. You can see the reverse rotation on it, the great location on the outer half. It just freezes Simpson.
She's got 2 looking strikeouts with that pitch.
That's right, and all 3 strikeouts are with that changeup.
That'll bring up Emma Sellers. Sophomore out of Lakewood, California. 1 for 3 so far in the tournament, has scored twice.
South Carolina wants nothing to do with the inner half so far through the lineup. Maddie Penta just missing on that inside corner. She can get that pitch called. Right there, yeah. And I love that adjustment. She brought it back over about an inch more than the one before. And you can hear Brian Crochet behind the plates and bringing in a little bit more. She did.
Pops her up. Bryant, heads up play by Denver because she saw Godwin had lost it initially. And now with 2 down, here's Brooke Blankenship.
Well, this is the bottom of the lineup getting it done for South Carolina. And the way that they win ball games, they wait until extra innings for the big one in Blankenship. A huge one there. And she's got a great batting average, even though she's down here in the 9th spot, 317 on the season. Some really good numbers. We've seen that a lot. Kind of roll back over the lineup.
That's her 1 hit so far in the tournament. So you talk about timely hits. The transfer from Florida State got it done there. They have tapped into the likes of FSU, Georgia, Washington in the transfer portal. Is able to check it. Just got a piece of that.
There's the dirty. That's the pitch. It was good. You know, we were talking to Skylar Wallace, an SEC Player of the Year and one of the best hitters in the country. Who's the hardest pitcher that you have faced this year? And she didn't blink, saying Maddie Penta because of that pitch. And you know when you're talking to one of the better hitters. It says a lot. And I think the biggest thing is that she doesn't, there's no tells. A lot of times I feel like you could always, as a hitter, pick up something. When you have that big of a velocity difference, there's a slowing of the arm, a grip change. Maddie Penta, the deception of her being able to hide that pitch. That's why hitters are so out in front, because they can't pick it up until it's too late.
And it's really been her changeup that's been on. The pitches that she struggled with the last couple of days has been the rise ball.
Slow roller right back to Maddie, and a 1-2-3 inning down the bottom of the order. 1-0 Carolina. The arrival of the #1 seed, the regular season champion Tennessee Lady Vols are here.
Because
Taking on Alabama coming up next in our second semifinal. They've already played once today. They eliminated Florida 4-0. Kiki Malloy with a 2-run home run and Ashley Rogers with the shutout. Well, unfortunately for the home folks, the Hogs got bounced last night by Alabama in extra innings. So there will not be a defending champion. There will be a new crown earned here in the next 24 hours.
Hope and get out.
6, 7, 8. You touched on it, Jess, but we are hearing instructions from the home plate umpire, you know, letting the pitcher know where that pitch was if it missed. Yeah. Got to pick it up.
And letting the hitter know. I mean, I think about that too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
if she does bring it, I need to swing because he's telling me right now he's going to call it.
Yeah. And he says it on close pitches, so
Yeah.
that last pitch was high, and it was obvious it was high, and he just said ball.
He's not Captain Obvious, is what you're saying. There's Jesse Blaine, 6, 7, and 8 coming up with Godwin and Packer to follow. Into the crowd. Full count. Ground ball, and that'll sneak through the left side, and a base hit for Jesse Blaine to lead off the second. So that's 2 innings in a row that they get the lead off on board. And we'll remind you that this week's Sunday night baseball matchup is the series finale between the Cardinals and the Red Sox at Fenway Park, 7 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Got Sox fans and Cards fans in the house.
Nice. That's a rarity.
There we go. Yeah, he knows where the camera is. That baby.
Saying hello. Cardinals 13 and 24.
Ouch.
Didn't see that coming.
Well, there's surprises on both sides. They're jumping for joy in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Go Rays.
Wow, Tampa is tearing it up.
I can't. I mean, you're hilarious. She
Tampa
likes the
is
Mets, she likes the
tearing it up.
Yankees, she likes the Rays.
Well, I think it's good to support the hometown team.
Yeah. Pinstripes and Rays.
The same division. It's like saying I love the Dodgers and the Padres.
It just doesn't.
I know.
It just doesn't happen.
You know, I grew up in the day when, you know, there wasn't much on television. You just watched what you could.
Twib notes this week in baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
Mel Allen. Here's Aspen Godwin.
Jenny Finch was on that, the tail end.
Oh, yeah?
That run. Yeah, she went around, toured all the parks and pitched to all the best hitter from every team.
Yep.
Struck every one of them out until Barry Bonds tried to bunt.
Oh, Barry. Figures.
Smart, actually. You're not going to hit her.
Foul ball staying in the box.
Isn't that like bunting to try and break up a no-no?
Yeah, exactly.
Un-
And it's
unspoken,
Barry
huh?
Bonds, too.
0-2 to Godwin. Well struck. Sellers makes the catch at second. 1 down.
Really good positioning. Macella's playing up the middle. This ball is just smashed right past Oaks. Look at this go right past her. But Sellers is in a perfect position. Looks like it's a base hit off the bat. Again, all those analytics, making sure you're in the right spot.
We've seen that a lot this tournament, too. I mean, a full-blown shift that Florida had.
Yeah.
A morning game.
Packer sends one back in our general direction.
And I love it. I mean, the sport, not only does it get better all the time, but it gets smarter. That's actually something that Bev talked about with South Carolina, is how much better the understanding of hitters is now. There's no secrets. The numbers are there, and you have to make adjustments because everybody knows what your weaknesses are.
Right. Well, and really baseball and softball, right? It's a numbers game. That's why there's all these analytics, there's all these different measures. And, you know, if you play the numbers, the percentages, a lot of times you'll come out on the winning end of it. So you position people in spots depending on where you're pitching them over the plate.
Another one up top, 2-1.
But that's always the assumption that the pitchers are throwing to the correct spot. You know,
Yeah.
if the pitchers
Still got to hit your
exactly,
spots, right?
Exactly. If you cross up your defense,
Location,
never a good thing. Absolutely.
Location. Another one that gets through the 5-6 hole off the glove of Gonzalez out and left, and Auburn is going to get a run in. So both sides with costly miscues, and we are even at 1 apiece.
Marissa Gonzalez, who's been so good for this team defensively out in left field, makes a mental error. This is a hard hit ball, easy base hit, 5-6 hole, but no reason to slide. And because of that, it gets by her, makes it an easy ability for Auburn to come around and score. It's just the angle there that she takes, as you see how fired up Jessie Blaine is coming in.
So a single for Packer, and then the run scores on the error. And Packer motored all the way around to third. And here's Rose Roach, the number 9 hitter. With 1 out, the infield's in, the outfield is in as well. And the first error for them of this tournament on the season, the best fielding percentage in the league. And Bev Smith wants to make sure to nip this in the bud.
Well, this is smart. Everyone understand where we need to go. We got 1 out. This is where we need to be. We got a left-handed slapper. I'm just kind of reminding everyone, because the thing is this defense is very athletic. They make the plays, and we've seen that, but it's the mental errors that can also catch up to you. So it was a good reminder. Communicate.
Rose Roach, the only lefty in the lineup for Auburn. They just want to make sure the defense is on cue in case they try to do a sneak bunt. Suicide.
They're also leaning left to play against the snap. There's a huge hole up the middle for Rose.
They're swinging away, and they are positioning her really like just a slapper only.
Yeah.
And look at how
Wow,
far, look at left
this.
field.
That's
Right.
crazy, it's wide open.
That's in for a strike. 2-1. It's only her 36th at-bat of the season. And Roach gets a hold of one, drives that deep. Simpson goes back, and it's off the track, and a run will score. So they play her to slap, and she bashes it. And Auburn has the lead as Packer cruises home.
You know, we were just talking about it too. It was like the defense is playing Rose Roach like she only knows how to slap, but she's standing in to hit. And look at out in right field, Haley Simpson, how pulled in she is. And then the swing away, they pitch her right inside. This would have been a fly out, but she's got a long way to go. No way she's going to get there. A nice job by Roach, proving them wrong. I can swing away too.
Rose Roach with just her 7th RBI of the season. And a quick hook, the pitching change coming for South Carolina. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. And welcome back to the semifinals of the SEC tournament. Rose Roach, with just her 4th double of the season, driving in her 7th run of the season, and a 2-1 lead, chases the starter Carson Oakes after just 1 1/3 innings. And they will move on to Bailey Bettenbaugh. Bailey got the start yesterday against Georgia and worked 3 innings. And after they grabbed the 1-0 lead, they now trail. And it's the bottom of the order for Auburn getting it done. They pass the bat back up to Peralta at the top. She singled her first time up. She too now with an RBI opportunity. So South Carolina gets its run in, aided by an error, and now Auburn gets its 2 runs in, aided by an error.
Great view.
Oh, they see the championship game in sight. Still a long way to go. Those are mighty strong binoculars.
I like they're backwards.
Peralta with that big open stance.
Full count. High hopper at second. It's Sellers. Only play is to first. Send it down to Holly.
Talking to Auburn coach Mickey Dean before the game, he said the beautiful thing about this team and their offense is it's been different people all the time. He said, we've gotten production all the way up and down our lineup. You never know who it's going to be or how it's going to be, and it makes them tough to scout. Case in point, they're 8-9 hitters just there bringing in those last 2 runs. That's just the 36th at-bat of the season for Rose Roach, just her 7th RBI. You never know.
Bryant, first pitch swinging. And the side is retired, but a pair come home, and Auburn grabs the lead here in the bottom of the second. The 3 seed Auburn Tigers trying to fight their way back to the SEC championship game. Here's what's happening around the college softball arena this weekend. Florida State is back in the ACC championship game. They won the regular season. Oklahoma State's tailspin continues late in the year. They may have fallen out of a top 8 seed for the NCAA tournament. And here at the SEC's, Kiki Malloy, a 2-run home run. In that head-to-head showdown with Skylar Wallace, Tennessee prevails. So the 1 seed plays Alabama coming up next. Oklahoma continues to look strong in the Big 12. UCLA winning out west in the Pac-12, the very first Pac-12 tournament after they won the regular season. I did see today, I think Tulsa upset Wichita State today.
Just a big one.
Selection Sunday in just a couple days' time. 2 hours of coverage starting at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, and we will unveil the bracket.
It would be interesting in regionals when the 1 seed plays the 4 seed in that regional to see, like, I think some teams could be forced to throw their ace that first game. Because there are a lot of teams out there that have a good pitcher that can knock off anybody. And that's the biggest thing about the regionals is that you can't get in that loser's bracket.
Maddie Penta facing the top of the order again. The fastest road to a national championship is to go 10-0. win 3 in the regionals, 2 in the supers, and 5 at the World Series, you'd sweep the championship series. The longest road to a championship is 16 games. You'd have to go 12-4 if you lost once every step of the way in the double elimination format. Fabian struck out looking at that off-speed pitch her first time up, and now another full count. Pitch count's already approaching 50 here in just the 3rd inning. Off the end of the bat, 1 down. Well, next Friday, it's the start of the 27th WNBA season. 4 opening night games, and we'll have the final matchup of the night, and what a special one it is. It's the return of Brittany Griner to the court for the Phoenix Mercury against the Los Angeles Sparks. Coverage begins at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and Holly will be there for Brittany's return.
Yeah, it was really cool. I got to go to Phoenix last week and talk with Brittany Griner since her return, first time since her return from Russia. And she is in really good spirits. She has an army of people around her who are supporting her, from sports psychologists to nutritionists to strength and conditioning coaches, as she tries to gear up for her return to the court. And, you know, it's going to be a slow process. She's not going to be back to MVP form right away, but she's in great spirits and can't wait to see her playing basketball again.
Yeah, of course, she'll be teaming with Diana Taurasi again out in the desert. Huge moves around the WNBA with big free agent signings in Las Vegas and New York, the two front runners, as the season tips off next weekend.
Yeah, Holly's doing double duties. 3 games today, and in between she's doing interviews and for WNBA, and I feel like I'm all up to date on the season starting, just hanging around Holly. Finding out Donna Deladon's a huge softball fan. She's going to come to OKC one of these days.
Here we go. Zoe Leno. And a strikeout for Penta. That's number 4, 2 down. And she has retired 6 in a row.
She likes to use that changeup and then come back with this rise ball. And that's really well located, had nice tumble on it. She really gets under it. And you can see when she gets under this pitch and throws it from low to high, that's where it's competitive. It looks like it's at your belt, ends up above your numbers.
Riley Blampede reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Oh, there she is. She's been the closer for the first 2 games of this SEC championship. Donnie Gobourne. No stranger is she to close games. Well played it short by Peralta, and it's back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Isis Tresvik in the heart of the order, coming up for the Tigers with a 2-1 lead. She's got some pop in that bat. There's a look at the bracket as well as the arrival of the Alabama Crimson Tide, the 5 seed taking on top-seeded Tennessee in the second game of our nightcap. Fresh off of their extra innings win around, well, it was actually after midnight local time last night. So they will play their 3rd game in 3 days this evening.
Tennessee didn't play any games until today, and then they got 2.
Yeah, the Volunteers 4-0 winner over Florida. in a game that started this morning and then headed back to the hotel to chill, and now returning for the semifinal. Bree Ellis will start things off 3-4-5. They've gotten the lead off the board the first 2 innings, and 5 of the 8 through their first game and a half.
Ball.
0-2, she doesn't chase. Look at the respect they have for how hard Bree Ellis hits the ball.
Look at
1,
that.
2, 3, 4, 5 outfielders right now.
No doubt. They are just, look at that. All of them, they're just out there on the green.
It almost makes you want to think, like, God, if you just lay down a drag.
Exactly.
Slow roller to Leno, plenty of time. 1 down. Oh. Selfie
Selfies.
+1.
Mom, I already told you.
Social media
One
going
selfie
early.
a day. Been like a good finger to chew on, too.
Hey.
Here's Tresvik. Walked her first time up.
It's cool to see all the moms out here, Mother's Day weekend. Good place to be, bring your daughters,
That's right.
your baby boys, whoever it might be.
Ball.
1-1 to Isis. Second time through the order, but the first look at Bettenbaugh, who came on in the second inning.
South Carolina's just gotten better as the year has gone on. One of the things that Bev Smith always says is that, even to some of the players that have been younger, is that you've got to continue to work while you wait. And that's been her message. It was her message to Mercer Gonzalez and to a lot of those younger athletes that maybe last year didn't get a lot of playing time. She just encouraged them to work while you're waiting for your turn, and then once you get your turn or your opportunity, capitalize on it. And they've done that this year. They have just gotten stronger as the years has gone on, more confident.
Grounder to short, and that'll nick off the glove of Blankenship. Second error of the ball game, and then Tresvik tripped on the base at first.
It's a screwball. Jams her up just a little bit.
Oh, look at the spin on that.
Yeah. Goes off the heel of the glove of Blankenship.
So that's a couple of miscues through the first 3 innings for the best fielding team in the league.
Yeah, she was trying to get that on the run instead of fielding, especially when it's got spin.
Infield pop, left side. Blankenship's got it. 2 down. Here's Jesse Blaine. Singled and scored in the second inning. Mickey Dean getting together with the umpire. I think just to signify Blaine is re-entering. In for a strike.
Tell you what, Bettenbaugh's done a great job of getting ahead of hitters. We haven't seen pitchers from either side. Maddie Penta, even as good as she's been, has been behind every hitter, but Bettenbaugh coming into this game, just attacking these Auburn batters. She's got a 75% fly ball percentage, so I think she's gonna get a lot of fly ball outs.
Runner was on the move from first that time.
Hey, gotta hit with your name on it, Jesse. Let's go, girl. Hey,
Holly Rowe will be chatting with Bev Smith after the next break. Missed away. Snap throw down to first and close. Trustvik's been getting a bit aggressive with her jumps off of first.
We watched Sidera behind the plate, and I mean, she was coming up thinking she might be stealing, so she was already in a great position, but I love the quick throw down to first. Almost had her, too.
Yeah, it's close.
Another one pulled foul.
Bettenbaugh's been very good on that inside corner to all these right-handed hitters for Auburn.
It's kind of been the tournament, right?
Yeah.
We've seen so many righties just go after these right-handed batters, get them in on the hands.
Gotta establish that corner, so important.
Ball.
Nice block.
Good.
For the Auburn Tigers, you see the 6 through 9 hitters are 3 for 4 with the 2 runs scored. Blaine and Packer picking it up for the top of the lineup. Reached for it. Fabian's got it behind the bag at first. 1 stranded. 3 complete. 2-1 Tigers. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN and the SEC softball tournament presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Holly?
I'm here with Bev Smith of South Carolina, and your defense has been the stalwart. It's been what you've counted on here at this tournament. How did you settle them down after a couple of miscues brought in some runs?
Well, I think for us it's just back on track. We've got to find a way to score some runs. We keep talking about creating an inning, so we need to figure out Penta, create an inning for ourselves, and then we'll bring Donnie on the mound.
You've had some conversations with your pitching staff. They've done a good job here so far. What do you like that you've seen?
Well, I think we're giving them different looks. Carson came in and really gave us a nice start with lots of changeups, and Bailey does a nice job working their hands and up in the zone for fly balls.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Holly. Well, that is the challenge against the SEC's Pitcher of the Year, Maddie Penta, who will go back to work in the 4th with a 1-run lead. Winner into the SEC championship game tomorrow evening against either Alabama or Tennessee. And in the last 2 games against Carolina, 0 hits allowed. She had a no-hitter back on April 30th. And that came a day after Donnie Goborn had a no-hitter on April 29th for the Gamecocks. Head-to-head.
Tough weekend to be a hitter.
Oof.
That's the SEC. We've also seen weekends where it's been tough to be in the circle.
Equal opportunity destruction in this game that we love to hate and hate to love sometimes.
Well said.
It's also interesting, you know, game plan that you see the evolution of the game. And Bev Smith, there's no secret. Donnie Goburn is one of the best pitchers in the SEC, especially right now. She's only gotten better and better, but she's not coming in this game until they have a lead.
Yeah. I called the South Carolina LSU series at the beginning of the season, and Donnie was just starting to really rev up, and it's amazing how, you know, she's just kept improving.
Oh, Bev was a good baller herself back in her day.
Well, and remember,
All ACC performer.
absolutely knows the game, played the game, but Donnie Goborn transferred in from FAU and was
Joan
coached
Joyce.
by Joan Joyce, exactly.
Yes.
Legendary Joan Joyce.
I think Holly's got an update for us, too.
Okay, so I went to a softball game at North Carolina this year, and guess who I saw prominently featured on a beautiful mural there? It was none other than Bev Smith, the coach at South Carolina. She was a fantastic player at North Carolina. I was teasing her about, you know, the hairdos back in the day, but she was a heck of a player, obviously the pitcher of the year, and she is such a great pitching coach. She has done wonders with her team, with her pitchers, and I just really think she's a great coach, but I think it stems from her also being a great player back in her day. She totally understands the players and what they're going through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, she's helped Donnie Goborn a lot with her changeup, so she had great tools coming in. But yeah, Bev always helps develop her pitchers, become more complete pitchers.
There's your pinch runner over at first base, Kai Ricks. After the walk to Anaya Black. So here's Julia Desiderio, who was hit by a pitch her first time up. Runner goes, the throw down, it takes a high hop. And Ricks now in scoring position with the stolen base.
Low throw, watch it, how close it almost gets penta. That's why the high hop off the gut of Peralta.
No balls, 2 strikes, 0-2 now.
0-2's the count. They keep getting a little bit closer to our window up here. Not quite.
You guys are like the little girls that were out in the outfield just waiting for the ball.
Exactly.
Any kind of foul ball, you guys are jumping out the window.
Well, I mean, we've got one of the greatest outfielders ever to play in the middle of us, so we figure you're going to make the catch.
she
And
leans
You guys are like elbow.
You do
She
lean
leans
back.
back.
Because it's not even close. You guys are like coming out the window.
We always lean in first, and our first step should be back. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
There
Yes.
we go.
Yes.
Oh, you're learning something. I'm learning. It's been 20 years, but getting there.
South Carolina trying to tie things up here in the top of the fourth. 2-2 to Desiderio. Tigers some activity in the bullpen as Tennessee looks on in the background. Shelby Lowe. Lefty Lowe. for Mickey Dean in his 6th year with 4 trips to the NCAA tournament. Their best finish in the SEC in 6 years as they came in 3rd place. Resume includes series wins over Alabama and LSU. They didn't win the series, but they did pick up dubs against Georgia and Florida. Might be 5, might be 6 SEC teams that'll host in the NCAA tournament. And the 2nd walk in a row.
Well, Maddie Penta wanted that one. You
Yeah.
can tell she is starting to tire, and that has been the corner she has had a hard time getting the calls for. It's that inside drop ball, and you see the location of this pitch. We've heard behind the plate, just bring it a little bit more in because it is off the plate. But look at the reacts from Maddie Penta. She's ready for the strike 3 call. Wanted to definitely show her emotions.
So that's her 7th walk already in the first couple of games here with 4 hit batters. And what do we got going on here? Is this the 2nd game in a row that they will go away from Penta, who can re-enter? She did yesterday and pitched out of a bases-loaded jam in the 7th inning to win it.
Well, I think the reacts there told you everything. And Mickey Dean is smart. He understands his pitcher, Maddie Penta. I mean, she's for sure the SEC Pitcher of the Year, but she wants calls that aren't strikes right now because she is battling. So he saw that as a recognition. Let's get Shelby Lowe into this game. You can always re-enter Maddie Penta.
See, she's struggled with those free passes. Typically, she'll have 3 times more strikeouts than free passes, and she just, hasn't this year. In her 200 inning pitches coming into this game, 283 strikeouts to just 45 walks. So obviously a pretty big disparity from the regular season till now. And Shelby Lowe is a great mix with her. She's left-handed. Both juniors, they came in together and were very successful as freshmen. Shelby Lowe had an injury last year. She's been starting to come back from that injury little by little. She's worked her way back into form. A good one to mix, left side, right side mix between Penta and Lowe.
Oh, keep an eye on Maddie Penta as well. She got up and stayed warm pretty quickly with some conversations going on with her head coach Mickey Dean to keep her ready if they needed to bring her back. But it's Lowe moving forward here after the 2 straight walks, 2 on with nobody out. And the Gamecocks have the tying run at second base. Bunt is dropped. It goes all the way through to Lowe. Her only play is to first. Well executed sacrifice for Gonzalez.
15 for 11.
And now we've got a pinch hitter coming on. This will be Hannah Hawley, batting for Simpson in the 7 spot.
Defense pulled in for Auburn, trying to keep the lead.
Ball.
Holly 0 for 2 yesterday. She was hit by a pitch. 245 on the season with 3 runs batted in. Got a couple out there right now. Right side, over towards the line, and the catch is made. Runners will not be able to advance.
Huge out. Especially, I mean, coming off the bench for Hannah Hawley, but you hit that ball on the ground to the right side, a good chance, speed. especially Black being able to come in and score.
Emma Sellers now in the 8th spot, popped up to third base back in the 2nd.
Trying to focus.
Hey, the inaugural XFL Championship game is coming up tomorrow. The Arlington Renegades and the DC Defenders at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. Emma Sellers now.
Josh Bloomer, the hitting coach for South Carolina, came over. He was at Duke for about 3 years, and one of the things Bev Smith told us is that he's not a big home run guy. He said he wants their team to lead the country in doubles, more gap to gap, trying to get them to hit for average, barrel the ball up. And they've done that. They've done a good job with hitting the doubles this year. 73 on the year coming into today's game.
Another 1-2 to Emma Sellers. Maddie Pinto responsible for the 2 runners on base. Walks to open up the inning, and now Lowe has retired 2 in a row.
So it's just a little bit late on everything. That barrel is just not quite getting out in front. But that's what Shelby Lowe will do too with that curveball.
Out to center field, Michaela Packer. And 2 left on base. Shelby Lowe comes into the game to work out of the jam. 2-1 Auburn.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN, here with Auburn coach Mickey Dean. And coach, how are you evaluating when and how to manage your pitcher, Maddie Pinta?
Gut. You try to listen to them, you watch them in pregame, and then you go about the eye test, and then you see some things and you're like, all right, I need to make a change here. And so that's why you have a pitching staff.
And they're doing well. You did do this yesterday, though, and you brought her back in later in the game. How much confidence do you have in your staff, but also your ability to adapt throughout the course of the game if you need to bring her back?
Oh, great deal. Great deal. Our staff's done a great job all year. So now if we can try and scratch some runs here and some base runners and hopefully stretch some things out. But that doesn't seem to be what's happening this year in this tournament.
No, good pitching, coach. There's a lot of good pitching. Thank you so much.
Thanks, War Eagle.
There's a look at your game track with a 2-1 Auburn lead over South Carolina. The run up for South Carolina without a hit. 2 runs on 4 hits for Auburn. As we move to the bottom of the 4th.
Ball. Hey, let's go. Hey, I got a heavy right here, 00. Hey, top mission. Got a top secret mission. Let's go, 00. Let's go, Aspen.
Aspen Godwin, it's 7, 8, and 9 coming up.
Hey, I see you working something. Let's go, baby. Hey, we love y'all. Let's go, baby. Hey, fight right here now. Fight right here.
1-2 to Godwin, lined out to second base, back in the 2nd inning. Ground ball to short, and it's off the glove of Blankenship again. 2nd error of the day for her.
Yeah, that ball's hit hard, but that's definitely a fieldable ball. Doesn't quite get her feet in front of it. So you can see she starts to lean and almost dive for it instead of moving her feet to try to get in front of that ball.
It's interesting because she tried to dive forward
Yeah.
and even instead of to the side. 3rd error for the game. South Carolina coming into the game led all the SEC, the lowest fielding percentage. You see those 30 errors, fewest in the SEC. That's kind of their big, what they hang their hat on this year. Is their defense.
It's crazy.
Carly McConaughey is on to pinch run.
Football season right now. Hey, let's go, Paige.
For the Tigers, number 10, Michaela Packer.
Hey, let's go, baby.
6, 7, and 8, 9 continue to make some trouble. 3 hits, 4 base runners. The first time through the lineup, and now working on the 2nd time through. Packer singled and scored in the 2nd, and came home on the 1st error of the game, one of the 3.
Auburn team is used to getting it done with a lot of different people, a lot of different ways. I mean, this is a diverse team in the sense that they don't score in just one way.
Kiki Malloy signing some autographs. Those are Gloves Girl. Those are our Glove Girls from earlier.
Right.
Atta baby. Well, I don't think they caught any fly balls, but they're catching some signatures.
There you go.
Hey, let's go, baby.
Hey, Sunday, the Rally Cap crew will break down the SEC softball tournament as we look back on the week in baseball with highlights, analysis, and interviews. Plus, a look ahead at the final week of the regular season for baseball. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 7 Central over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Got a bunch of championship games lined up for you in softball tomorrow, including the SEC here tomorrow night. And then Selection Sunday. Primetime, 2 hours of coverage for you Sunday night. And a strikeout of Packer, 1 down. That is the first of the day for Gamecock pitchers.
Aww.
That, I believe, would be tears of joy for one happy camper getting the signature.
Hey.
Here's Rose Roach, the RBI double in the 2nd to get Auburn the lead. Flashes that one out to Blampede. Throw back into first base. Almost got the base runner. Makandashi too far off, heading for second. 2 down.
Yeah, she was going on the pitch. We've seen that a lot. I mean, usually as soon as you hear contact, you got to pick up the ball, and we've seen a lot of runners get doubled off. Not picking up the ball. Got lucky there. The throw kind of went away.
And do we have a pitching change coming here for South Carolina?
Oh, here she comes.
And here she comes. Donnie Goburn is entering the ball game for the Gamecocks. Back in a moment. The senior from Lake Placid, Florida, Donnie Goburn, is on the all-SEC first-teamer coming out of the bullpen. Amongst the many things on her resume, a no-hitter during the regular season against Auburn.
Watch the velocity. I mean, she can bring the power, and you look at 71 miles an hour, the movement that she gets on her pitches, up in the zone, then down, and then she's got the off-speed to boot. 56 compared to 71. I mean, she is one of the best pitchers in the SEC, and she has slowly gotten there. Didn't start the season that way, and Beth Smith, their staff has done a great job. She is fun to watch.
Both pitching changes come at the top of the order, which would lead you to believe that that might have been the plan coming in that Bev Smith shared with Holly Rowe.
Especially after an out, usually you know that it's when the pitcher's doing well. It's not after a big hit. The plan was for Donnie to come in. I just love her attitude too. I mean, the way that she stalks around that circle. Conviction when she throws her pitches.
10 1/3 inning of work here in the first 2 games of this SEC tournament for Donnie. 4 hits allowed. She struck out 14 and has not surrendered a run. They have a pair of 1-run wins, both in extra innings, and she has been there at the finish line. Peralta's 1 for 2, the single coming off the starter, Carson Oakes.
Hey, something show up right here, baby.
Skied to the left side. Blankenship makes the catch. Goburn comes on to get the final out of the inning. 2-1 Auburn. Big story last night for Alabama was the injury to Montana Fouts. Landed wrong on the left leg. She tried to stay in the game, and that's what happened on one of her practice pitches. She had to depart. Showed tremendous leadership in being there for her teammates. No word on the extent of the injury, but this is Montana Fouts pregame, getting ready with her teammates. And flashing a little Bama U for the folks back in Tuscaloosa. Patrick Murphy told our Holly Rowe postgame last night there was no plan to throw Fouts in the game today or if they reach the championship anyways, but chances are there won't be any updates before the selection show because you don't want to influence where they might be seated. The selection committee does consider any injuries or any reason that a superstar player would miss the tournament. So as it stands right now, Alabama in line to host a regional in all likelihood. And of course, for softball fans nationwide, the hope is that Montana can be there in the circle for the Tide. Those are big Michelle Smith fans. They like to cheer for 3 different teams all at once, even though they're in the same league.
Oh, no.
I like the Yankees
Touche,
and the Rays.
touche.
And the Mets. Are they rivals?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's only a conundrum when they play each other, okay?
That's a great photo opportunity right there. Look at that. Got the big chair.
That's awesome.
Shelby Lowe is back out there, the second pitcher of the day for Auburn. She got 2 big outs to end a threat in the last inning. Gamecocks still hitless. I repeat, hitless in the ball game, even though they've got a run up. They have in their 2.5 games now 4 runs on 8 hits. 2 runs in regulation, 14 innings, 2 runs in 8th innings. And that is deep center field. Packers got it. She has been stellar out there in center field, chasing down fly balls. 1 down. Back to the top, so it's the 3rd time around now, Jordan Fabian.
I haven't seen a lot of home runs. And we talked about coming into this tournament, highest elevation here in Fayetteville, and thinking there's going to be games where we're going to see 5, 6, 7 home runs in a day, and it's been quiet.
Yeah, it has been a little quiet.
Well, a real credit to South Carolina. Big reason why, because the top home run hitting team, Georgia, they held them to 1 lone single solitary run yesterday.
Well, the thing that South Carolina has just done so well is that they haven't issued the free passes. Now today they have with the errors, but just the 1 walk. 3 errors haven't helped, obviously, but you know, if you're not putting people on base, it's hard to score runs. You have to make your opponent, if they have to get back-to-back-to-back hits, right, the consecutiveness of having to hit back-to-back, it becomes difficult.
Especially when you're hitting the ball in the air. I think that's probably been the biggest thing that's jumped out. It's all the fly ball outs. We've seen what happens when you hit the ball on the ground. That's where the errors have come. Even in the outfield, ground balls in the outfield.
Lowe's up here, 1 and 2. And a swing and miss. Her first strikeout, 2 down.
Shelby Lowe has a very good curveball that she can throw low in the zone, but this is a rise ball that also has some run in and some movement up through the zone, so she'll start this on the outer edges, and you can just see the way that Fabian is going to pull her head, swing through that pitch. Big strikeout for Shelby Lowe.
Yeah, I think for Lowe right now, just to stay upstairs, maybe throw a couple other pitches to offset it, but as long as you're getting that much miss on the swing and miss, it's not like it's close. It's a good 5 to 6 inches underneath the rise ball right now.
Yeah, Shelby Lowe and Maddie Penta are a great mix because obviously one's right-handed, one's left-handed, but Lowe is more spin speed, and Penta's more pitch speed. So they complement each other very well.
Don't throw a strike here. The strike to walk ratio leads all of Division I.
7 to 1.
Yeah.
Or 10 to 1, excuse me. There you go. She didn't throw a strike. Zoe didn't chase. It's been a good move, though, so far for Mickey Dean. Shelby's retired the first 5 she's faced. Sunday Night Baseball. Got the Cardinals and the Red Sox from beautiful Fenway Park. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock with baseball tonight's Sunday Night Countdown.
Lots of Cardinals fans in the
love a
house.
good bucket hat. And a called strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Lowe as she set down 6 straight.
Shelby Lowe using that rise ball to get the strikeout. This one on the curveball, just so much movement and spin through the zone. Shelby Lowe getting it done for Auburn as they pick up the bats to try to put some more runs up on the board.
Now there was the winner of the Tennessee game earlier today, Ashley Rogers, as they eliminated Florida in the quarterfinals. They got to come back tonight. Our second semifinal is coming up next. Lady Vols and the Crimson Tide. 6:30 Eastern is the scheduled first pitch on ESPN2. Rogers picked up the win. And for Auburn, Shelby Lowe. Good work, 2 innings in relief here has kept things quiet. And it's still a 2-1 Auburn lead. Ashley Rogers this morning, 134 pitches. She got the complete game shutout 3-hitter.
She looked good.
Yeah.
I love conviction from pitchers. Talk so much about velocity and movement. Right there, that's conviction. I'm coming right at you, at your hands, 68 miles an hour. There's a fearlessness that you can't teach, and the great ones have it.
And she just rears back and throws, and sometimes she misses her spots, but she almost has that effectively wild component to her, where she's not quite 100% sure where the ball's going, but it's going to be scary.
A wild thing.
Yeah, wild thing.
It is effective too. Smitty had it, but it was with her hair. Wild red hair, flames coming at you.
Inside corner to Denver Bryant. It's 2, 3, and 4 in the order.
Denver Bryant just missed her last at bat. She had some good swings. There's a different pitcher. Now faced 3 different pitchers in this game. Oh, there you go.
Effectively wild.
Okay. Yeah, she's like, oh, get off my plate.
Having a laugh with Denver Bryant.
Whoop. Wow.
The look, that was great.
That's one way to make sure they try and move out of the way. Throw it about 73, 74 miles an hour.
Oh, just missed. I liked her swings in this game. I'll tell you what, after taking one almost off the chin, come out swinging. I think that'll be the best pitch she sees, though. That was right down the middle.
Oh, she tried to get her with the off speed.
They're giggling at each other.
Oh, I love it.
That's what we came to see right here. Who gonna win it right here now? Hey, them, I got my money on you, baby. Thank you. Hey, who gonna win the battle?
Ooh, full count.
That's a tough one to take. But I don't think you're going to hit it, so you might as well take your chances. That velocity and that location, great spot. Yeah, this will take you in the batter's box.
Got her. One down. Good battle there between those two.
Donnie Gobarn just does not back down, too. We've seen her come in, she went away, and then what was ball 4? But she knew that Denver Bryant was not going to take another pitch.
What you got, Holly Rowe?
Well, Donnie Auburn is a great story. She's a senior, went to Florida Atlantic to start her career, and then got into the transfer portal. And one of the assistant coaches there, Troy Witt, is a friend of Bev Smith. And he said, hey, we've got this kid in the portal, and I really think Bev could help her. And so she got her, she looked at her, and she's like, oh my gosh, yes. So here she is at South Carolina. And the thing that impresses me the most is that she came in throwing velo so hot, so fast, but she has learned a changeup mid-season. Bev said it's just kind of unprecedented. We started throwing it, and it wasn't great, but her teammates would all cheer from the dugout, you got this, you got this. So it kept developing confidence in that changeup, and now she's throwing it for strikes. Now she's locating it, she's owning it. So you've got the velo, you've got this speed, but then you can keep them off balance with the changeup, and it's just brilliant that Donnie Auburn has made this happen in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that's awesome. Learned a lot from Joan Joyce and Shan Walker at FAU before transferring out. And, you know, I think that's part of the development of a pitcher is you have multiple pitching coaches that can help you at different points in your career.
Now Bev Smith will come out to talk as Bree Ellis continues to fight with a little something in her eye, it looks like. This was the reaction after you saw what Denver Bryant did when she struck out. She wasn't pleased, and then back in the dugout some more. She wanted that swing back.
I don't think I've seen that before.
Oh, and the self-discipline. Yeah.
Yep.
Swung at a rise ball out of the zone.
She's a hoot. I love to watch her play. She was as intense in the Auburn, Alabama series. Seeing her battle against Montana Fouts, wow. But
yeah, they were able to take 2 or 3 in Tuscaloosa this year.
But that is Denver. That's not a one-off. That's how she is all the time.
Generates a lot of excitement over there. So here we go now with the power pitcher and the power hitter. They've gotten Ellis twice and kept her in the infield both times. Slight breeze blowing out.
Try to hold up, got the barrel.
Lays off of that, and it's another full count. Ball 4, Ellis draws the walk. Denver still working it out upstairs. Look at a pinch run around here for Ellis. Kennedy Cooper. Ellis can re-enter. There's Isis Tresvik Walked in the first, reached on an error in the third. Oh, and the game has just slammed on the brakes here. A lot of time between every single pitch now. Swing and a miss. Hey, next Friday, the WNBA begins its 27th season, and on opening night, what better way to start than Brittany Griner and the Phoenix Mercury taking on the LA Sparks. Coverage begins at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific on ESPN and ESPN Plus for the first time. Little Shelby Lowe update. Looks like that big old bag of ice on the ankle or on the, is it on the top of her foot there? Between innings.
Is the trainer trying to take it off and she's holding it?
She doesn't seem to be in any distress.
I wonder if she tripped on something.
And the strikeout for Auburn. 2 down. Second strikeout of the inning.
Auburn, this is actually a rise ball that is just a little bit low through the zone. Gets the swing and miss.
Here's Lindsey Garcia. Well, we've already seen Maddie Penta today. We saw Montana Fouts last night. There is the SEC leaders in whiff rate, way above the D1 average.
D1 average, 17.5%. Some other good ones, Megan Framo, Kelly Maxwell from Oklahoma State.
And I love when you get to see the average, it puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, 30% whiff rate sounds great, but knowing that it's almost double what average pitchers across D1 are doing. And you see it with the stuff. I mean, anytime hitters are missing on pitches down the middle, you know, it's not just velocity, but there's movement, and it's late.
Well, that's always the key, is the late movement. I always tell pitchers when I'm working with them is that if you can see the ball move, the hitter can see the ball move. And if the hitter can see the ball move, they can make adjustments. So you want that movement to be when the hitter's already committed in their swing path, right? So that's that last 2 to 3 feet.
She's gotten 5 swings and misses in these last 2 strikeouts this inning, has Donnie.
Good time for the off-speed. Tell right now that Garcia was guessing on that last one. Anytime you're ahead of 72 miles an hour, you were sitting fast.
And there you go. Lost the bat and everything. Auburn with 3 strikeouts in the inning.
I would have been sitting change up on that last one. Anytime you're ahead 72 miles an hour, Auburn comes back with 58. Swing and miss just a little early.
Kayla, Tori, Alyssa here with you in the outfield. We will see you after this game is over to get you set for our next semifinal. South Carolina, though, needs to generate some more offense, Kayla, if they want to make it more competitive.
Yeah, we know they're facing that spinny Shelby Lowe pitcher. She's thrown 19 strikes, only 8 balls. You got to be ready because she's going to bring it in the zone. Tori, you got to be on time.
Yeah, and how about the pitching for South Carolina? Bettenbaugh coming up, not giving a hit up, and Goborn coming in with the speed. I'm very impressed. We'll talk this game. Whoever wins it will be up here with us on the set. And of course, again, preview our next one coming up after this, ladies.
Thank you very much, Alyssa. As we move into the 6th inning. Three, 4, 5 coming up. Riley Blampede. 2 pitchers combining for 6 strikeouts for Auburn, and they have not allowed a hit yet today. South Carolina got its run back in the 1st inning with a walk, an error, and a sac fly. Shelby Lowe is throwing 70% strikes right now as she starts her 3rd inning of work.
I know this sounds super old school, but right now South Carolina's goal needs to be hit the ball on the ground. Just find a way to get on top. Shelby Lowe has been really dominant since coming in and throwing the ball up in the zone, getting not just chase, but a lot of fly ball outs.
3 pop-ups, 2 strikeouts, and just 1 ground out.
Opposite way. Tresvik is there, 1 down.
Yeah, and if you look at the chaos, you know, that South Carolina, when they've been on the bases, it was all the free passes when Penta was throwing. 3 walks, a couple of hit batters.
And honestly, a weak ground ball that got things rolling.
Yeah.
An error that was made, but when it's on the ground, you got to do multiple things right to get the out. In the air, I mean, you just saw it. I'll tell you what, Tresvik on that fly ball, I mean, she was like, can of corn.
Can of corn, exactly.
Can of corn. I could do this in my sleep.
Anaya Black steps in. Anaya had that sac fly in the 1st, walked in the 4th.
Nice little changeup. Black wanted nothing to do with that pitch. What I like about Shelby Lowe too is she's ready to go. Yeah, she gets on the rubber, she gets the sign, and she is like, I'm coming at you.
Yeah, efficient.
Two and two. Out in front.
Seen a lot of good changeups today. Most of the elite pitchers in this conference have good changeups that they hide. They can throw in any count. Saw that with Ashley Rogers today. Penta and Lowe. Danny Goborn.
Lays off high, full count.
And changeups with the deception, because I think that is a big, and that's why Montana Fouts for so long could not execute the changeup, as she would give it away. You would see it whether slowing the arm, whatever it is. It's not easy to throw, Smitty, you know this. And the changeups that we've seen in this tournament that have been successful is because you can't tell it's coming.
And another swing and miss. 2 down.
Well, this is a backdoor curveball, so she does a good job of setting up these pitches with that changeup, and then she comes back to this hard pitch, and it's got movement. It starts in the river, and then it's going to come back into the zone, and she just gets Black to swing through it. So another swing and miss for Shelby Lowe, picking up her 3rd strikeout in relief.
Here's Julia Desiderio. and rips one back up the middle and breaks up the no-no. First hit of the day for South Carolina.
Just don't leave the changeup up in the zone. And a nice job by Julia. Seems something she could poke. South Carolina without a hit. This is the one. Just as simple. This is as simple as it gets with hitting. Line drive up the middle.
Deep fly ball and back towards the track, and the catch is made. Tresvik tracks it down. First hit of the game for South Carolina, but that's it. 2-1 to the bottom of the sixth.
The 2023 SEC Softball Tournament on ESPN2 is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Coming in hot to your hometown.
Let's take you back to the fifth inning and some good theater. Denver Bryant is the batter. Nonplussed at the pitcher, and she and Goburn have a good laugh about it. Donnie gets the strikeout, much to the chagrin of Denver. And then in the dugout, unleashing the fury. Get it out, Denver. Get it all out. And then because she struck out, gotta do some push-ups.
That was great.
That was good stuff. Right now, on the left there, Denver Bryant's Tigers, the upper hand 2-1 over Donnie Goburn's Gamecocks. And the Tigers now are 3 outs away from a spot in the finals. They'll take some swings first. Well, we showed you earlier the situation in the dugout with Shelby Lowe. Just a little ice pack on the foot. It's still there. There is no activity in the bullpen, so assuming it may just be some maintenance at this point for the current pitcher in the ball game for Auburn.
Can you pitch with a numb foot?
Oh, interesting.
You never tried that? Never seen anyone ice during the game when they're still playing, or I guess pitching in this case.
That's her push leg.
Yeah.
As a lefty, so.
Here's Jesse Blaine, who has put the cup binoculars down to get into the batter's box. 1 for 2 today. Singled and scored in the second, a 2-run second inning. Aided by an error, and that's the difference right now.
It's been quiet since. 3 straight innings. Not a lot of offense.
Ranch draws the walk. Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
So the biggest fan of South Carolina softball, many people know, is South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley, and I know for a fact she is watching right now. She sent us this awesome video for Donnie Goburn. And Coach, I'm so sorry, we had a technical issue. But she wanted us to know that hashtag in Donnie we trust. She is such a huge fan of this young lady. She knows what great stuff Donnie has, and she watches so many of the games. She has seen how this young lady's grown throughout the course of this year. And, Bev Smith has done a great job with her, but she's getting a lot of love and support from Gamecock Nation. And Coach Staley, thank you so much for the shout out for Donnie Goburn. I'll be sure and show it to her after the game, I promise.
Well, perhaps she'll be able to watch it, or we can work on it for tomorrow's game if the Gamecocks can rally. Here's what Dawn did on Twitter. Stayed mentally tough through the 4-hour weather delay the other day. That was the team that was playing when the weather hit. That set us back a game.
Shout out for Alyssa Lang, who's an alum. Which, you never hear from. We would have never known that. They don't fight about it up there at all.
Pinch runner, by the way, is also a pitcher. Annabelle Widra running at first base. They may have used every other pinch runner. It seems like everybody that's been on base has been run for the Tigers. Due up in the 7th, by the way, which would be the last chance for South Carolina. It's the bottom of their order. Winner of this one has a date with Alabama or Tennessee in the championship game tomorrow. That second semifinal will start about 25-30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. And we'll keep it right here on E2. Tennessee awaiting their turn. It will be the second game of the day for the Volunteers. They beat Florida in the quarters earlier. Alabama was up late last night, actually into the morning hours here in Fayetteville, knocking off the 4-seed Arkansas. Murph staying up to date with the latest, or I don't know, texting some recruits. Maybe is it a recruiting period, or maybe just updating his Twitter feed. There you go.
Checking on all the other games going on all over the country.
Well, as good as Donnie has been the first 2 games here, it's a labor of love right now. She's faced 7 batters. 5 of them have gone to 3-2 counts.
She's only,
3 ball counts.
She's only gone 3 days in a row, though, pitching twice this season. Even though she's coming out of the bullpen, she's still pitching the bulk of the games.
Gets one there. And oh boy, look at this. So, was there a reason that Lowe was icing the foot? Is she done for the day? Are they going to go back to Maddie Penta for the second day in a row? She was the starter yesterday and then returned to finish the game. She started today. Lowe has been terrific. I guess we'll have to see who comes out for the 7th.
Yeah. Lowe at times this year has been on a pitch count, but I'd keep her in unless she got into trouble.
She looked good.
Yeah. You can just see the numbers for Penta, the struggles that she had. To me, most specifically, are the base on balls per 7 inning. Only 1.6 in the regular season, 7 here in this tournament. It's really been the free passes. It's not that she's given up a lot of hits. In fact, she didn't give up a hit at all in this game. But it's been command of the zone issues.
Pinch hitter here for Auburn, KK McCrary out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Rise at the eyes, 1-1. And that'll drop in for a base hit. Pinch hitter comes on and delivers. 2 on with 1 out. Seven times now that the bottom of the order has been on base. And oh look, guys, it's another pinch runner for Auburn.
They're just coming out of the bat bags now.
Actually, it's the re-entry for Packer here. Brian's still working it in the dugout.
Rose Roach, who's up to bat right now, the huge double back in the 2nd inning when they were playing her in. Big blast out to right field. Definitely the hardest hit ball we've seen. They're still playing her in. I mean, right field might be a little bit more deep, but you see the shift left and center field. The infield.
Drive it down the line or into center and could run for days.
That's in for a strike, 2-1.
See that left side really pinched over. Blanket chip the shortstop. Center fielder as well. Limpede way over.
And yet another 3-ball count. Goes full. Fly ball out to left. 2 down. And the top of the order coming up for the 4th time. Peralta 1 for 3. Can South Carolina get something going in the 7th? The bottom of their order would have to start it. Who they will be facing in this circle? Well, a bit of a mystery right now. Do they go back to Lowe, or do they bring Maddie Penta back into the game? The starting pitcher can return.
Unless Lowe is hurt, I don't see why they wouldn't keep her in.
Update. The shoe is going on. The ice pack is off.
But Penta is still continuing to warm up in the bullpen. Maybe her left foot was just really hot.
Yeah. It's a warm day.
It is Lowe's longest relief appearance since March in a non-conference game against Weber State. 3 innings of work today. She went 5 on that day.
I have a feeling Penta's coming in. As good as Lowe has been.
Well, as you guys touched upon, there's such a complementary difference between the two.
I think the biggest thing right now, too, is just attacking batters. I mean, that's where we've seen the success. That's why when Lowe did come in, I mean, she was just throwing strikes.
Yeah, she's worked from ahead.
Well, in the bottom of the order only has seen her once. Seen Penta once and seen Lowe once. Jammed her. All right, so we go to the 7th. The 2-1 Auburn lead over South Carolina. Last chance coming up for the 10 seed.
Take it to the floor, hit the spotlight, ain't got no excuse. Making new rules, yeah, it's alright, got nothing to lose. Take it to the top, running all night, come do like we do.
Semifinals at the SEC tournament. And the last chance coming up for South Carolina, but they have been awfully good late in games here at the SEC tournament. 20 innings in regulation with 2 runs, 2 innings in extra innings with 2 runs. So you could say they're right where they want to be here in the 7th. They need 1 to tie it, 2 for the lead, and then put Auburn up against it in the bottom half of the inning. The first of our 2 semis today on deck in about half an hour or so after the conclusion of this one. The 1 seed Tennessee, the 5 seed Alabama. Just 1 hit allowed by Maddie Penta and Shelby Lowe for Auburn today. Facing the bottom of the lineup, Hannah Hawley. 0 for 1, popped up to the right side her first time. Shelby Lowe coming on in the 4th inning has retired 9 of the 10 she has faced.
Just been efficient. 45th pitch coming.
Julia Desiderio broke up the combo no-hitter last inning. Full count. And the tying run is aboard for the Gamecocks. The walk to Hawley. And that breathes a little life into the Carolina side.
Yeah, and just when we were saying that Lowe had done a good job of limiting free passes since she entered the game, that is the first one that she has given up.
And now all the South Carolina coaches are getting together. Bev Smith came out to talk to the umpire, and then one of the assistants jumped up and got Bev's attention and wanted to talk about something with the whole crew here.
Well, if they did tie this and go into extras, pinch running for Haley Simpson, maybe she's out of the game.
That's actually Hawley at first, who came in as a pinch hitter a couple of at-bats ago. Still to come, Tennessee and Bama. And now Simpson has come back. And she is the runner.
Yeah. So she re-enters the game. She was the starter in right field.
That is the tying run. And let's see, looks like another pinch hitter here is Jen Cummings. .272 on the season, 25 runs batted in. Shelby Lowe gets the swing and miss.
Remember the days when pinch hitters used to come in, take a pitch, kind of see it. Now they come in off the bench and they are ready. Taking a huge hack there on Cummings.
Hit and run was on. Fly ball out to left center and almost a collision, but Abby Smith hauls it in. One down.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of communication. I mean, Abby Smith, that was her ball, but Michaela Packer, I get it. You don't hear her call it. With the speed that Packer has, you can see her coming all the way over. Smith is not calling it.
Smith was a defensive replacement last inning.
I actually thought that was going to end up dropping.
Yeah, I did too.
South Carolina would tie it again.
Well, and they're lucky they didn't collide.
Yeah.
That brings up Brooke Blankenship. She had the RBI against Georgia in the upset of the 2 seed yesterday.
Blankenship's been so good out of that 9-hole. You know, it's crazy when you look at the scorecard. Blankenship has the highest batting average and is in the 9-hole.
Mickey Dean out to talk to his pitcher. This is what Blankenship did on Thursday.
Took an inside pitch off of Shelby Walters and just drove it the opposite way. See all the energy, excitement, getting that run up in on the board, extras.
Oh, 1 to Blankenship. 1-1.
Nice pitch on the outer half.
Packer out in center. Shifting over to the right. There's your left fielder, Abby Smith. Called strike 3. 2 down.
Back-to-back pitches on the outer half. That backdoor curveball. Really good pitch for Shelby Lowe, the way she's just going to spin this ball. She's going to start it on the outer half river and pull it back in. Godwin with a nice frame holding that pitch. 4th strikeout for Shelby Lowe.
Auburn Tigers, a 1-run come from behind win yesterday. They are up a run coming from behind today. And Jordan Fabian is the last chance. She struck out twice and grounded back to the pitcher. Tying run aboard. She's the go-ahead at the plate. Is this the end of the line for the 10 seed?
Hold.
1-1. Launched deep, back, and gone! Two-run home run for South Carolina to take the lead in the top of the 7th. Jordan Fabian.
Jordan Fabian, as a leadoff hitter, has a .207 average, 9 home runs on the year, but that is why she's in that position. Her 10th home run.
The leadoff walk to Holly put a base runner aboard, and with 2 outs, Jordan Fabian brings her home and scores herself with a 2-run shot. Disbelief from the Tigers. And it is not the end of the line for the 10 seed, at least not yet. Their late game heroics continue for the 3rd day in a row.
In the back against the wall. This is exactly what South Carolina has done this tournament. That one with 2 outs. I mean, down to their last batter, what it seemed to be.
Oh, now you turn to the Auburn side. They will have the heart of their order coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning. And we have showed you a lot of the fun around the last at-bat for Denver Bryant. Her meeting with Donnie Goburn didn't go her way, and guess who will get another chance in the bottom half of the inning?
Hold.
Just the 2nd hit of the game for South Carolina. I mean, this has been their story. Not a ton of offense, but the timely hits.
6 runs on 10 hits in 23 innings. And now they're staring at 3-0 in those games.
Well, the thing that really has helped them in this game have been the free passes. I mean, if you're on the Auburn side, all those free passes just keep giving more and more at-bats to South Carolina. And South Carolina, that's how they've capitalized on the mistakes of others. And
get that 4th time through the order.
Absolutely.
A stunning turn here in the top half of the inning. The leadoff batter, Jordan Fabian, a 2-run home run. After an 0-3 start, and now Donnie Goburn can do it again for the 3rd day in a row, try and close it out. Are they going to add another one here off the base of the wall? And the throw in. And Zoe Leno is safe at 2nd.
Finally seeing South Carolina make those adjustments against Shelby Lowe. Every batter had either flew out or struck out except for one. And now starting to even out their swings, match the plane of Shelby Lowe. Beautiful swing from Zoe Leno. Driving this off the base of the wall out in right field. They actually had a chance to get her at 2nd. She hit it so hard.
Swing and miss for Riley Blampede. They did not have a hit until a single in the 6th inning. And on their second hit of the game, they take the lead. Well, there's always Monday morning quarterbacking in these type of situations. We were talking about whether you go with Lowe or do you go back to Maddie Penta here in the 7th. Auburn chooses to stay with Lowe. Strike 2. The South Carolina offense, 1 hit in 6 innings and a run here in the 7th. 2 hits, 2 in. Working on another. Jordan Fabian, the hero right now.
She's rocking the big chain necklace. I guess it's pearl chain. Flip visor.
Lampede pops it up. And now it's back to the Auburn Tigers. Down a run in the bottom of the 7th thanks to this from Jordan Fabian.
Jordan Fabian, 5th-year senior. Beth Smith told us it's not about her numbers that represent who she is. It's the leadership is why she stays at the top of this lineup. Look, she's a 200 hitter, but she came up clutch in this one. Backs against the wall, 2 outs to take the lead for the Gamecocks.
Well, the hero of the hour for South Carolina is Jordan Fabian. A 2-run home run when they were down to their final out in the top of the 7th, and the Gamecocks are now 3 outs away from becoming the first 10 seed to ever advance to the SEC championship game in the 26-year history of this tournament. The last 2 innings in their 3 games in this tournament, dynamite. 7 hits for 4 runs. And for the 3rd day in a row, they will hand it over to Donnie Goburn to try and end it. Goburn in the tournament, 12.2 innings of relief work, has allowed 5 hits and 0 runs. She'll face 2, 3, and 4 in the order they are hitless today. Auburn, in their win yesterday, had to erase a 4-run deficit to win late to advance to the semis today. Bryant, base hit. Tying run aboard, winner to the plate for the Auburn Tigers.
How about the emotion, Denver Bryant? Smitty, you talked about this. You've seen her so much throughout this season. And this is that fun cat and mouse game against a pitcher you know you want to compete against. You saw how frustrated she was against Goburn after the strikeout. Comes back, it's a great hit to lead off her Tigers.
All right, so you got some dangerous hitters here with power. Bree Ellis and then Isis Tresvik. Ellis walked her last time up. Set the freshman home run record a year ago, the SEC Rookie of the Year. Numbers are down a little bit this year in the power category, but dangerous nonetheless. Jammed her.
She was definitely circled in the lineup, had a slow start at the beginning of the year, and Nikki Dean just has believed in her, tried to get her confidence back, and she started to come on midway through this season, make a big difference for Auburn.
Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout of Ellis, 1 down.
Goborn uses that velocity and then comes back with the off speed, knowing that Bri Ellis has lots of power, gets the strikeout.
Holly?
Well, guys, Denver Bryant had that strikeout in the 5th inning, but before her at-bat just now in this crucial moment, she spent about 20 seconds. She was quiet. She held the bat in her hand and just closed her eyes and did deep breathing, 20 seconds, just getting herself in the moment, thinking through her at-bat. And you saw her reaction after that strikeout in the dugout, knowing that she had not done a great job, and that quiet moment before the at-bat got her on possibly a game-tying run.
And Holly, that's visualizing. I mean, you get emotional, you get fired up, but you sometimes have to close your eyes and see what you want to do. And it is such a perfect example of execution. She struck out Holly on a pitch away. She hit the pitch that she struck out on. And sometimes you have to close your eyes and see it to be able to do it.
Yeah, and shortened up a little bit. It was a 1-2 pitch, so 2 strikes. And right now, Ellis, Tresidek, they're taking big cuts.
She had a home run yesterday.
Sometimes when you're power as a hitter, sometimes you have to just a little bit, right? Shorten up or just figure out a way to connect, because the pitcher's going to supply the power.
Just get your barrel there.
Yep.
Another strikeout, 2 down. And it's the Tigers down to their final out. So reminiscent of the run of Ole Miss in 2017 when they won 4 games in 4 days to win the title. South Carolina trying to get to a 4th game in 4 days tomorrow in the championship.
You can see why Donnie Goburn, by the way, comes out of the pen to close games. I know she came in when they were losing, but you can see there's an added fire, just an added depth to her game. She's got the smile on her face right now, so relaxed, but this is why she is here. And as much as she hasn't started a lot of games, she knows how to close them.
It will be Lindsey Garcia coming up, 0 for 3. Donnie struck her out in the 5th with a changeup. Two-run home run in the top of the 7th has Carolina in front. Plenty of swings and misses here in the 7th for Goburn.
Well, swings get bigger when you're behind. You try to make up for it with a big swing, and that's not the approach, and you're feeding into what Goburn wants you to do.
Down to their final strike. Pop-up, right side, ball game, Gamecocks. Donnie Goburn finishes it off after Jordan Fabian went yard in the top of the 7th. Down to their last swings, and they win it 3-2. And they have knocked out the 7 seed, the 2 seed, and the 3 seed to advance to the SEC championship game.
It just shows the resiliency of this South Carolina team and the strength of the SEC. No matter what position you're in this conference, when it comes to this tournament, you keep winning one at a time, you'll punch your ticket to the championship game.
You got to give a lot of credit, too, to Bev Smith of understanding, obviously, the growth of Donnie Gobourne, getting her to the position she's in now, but also the belief in Jordan Fabian, keeping her at the top of the lineup. After today, before that home run, she would have gone below 200 average. You see the emotions there, not just Gobourne, but her teammates feeding off of each other.
What a tournament for Donnie. 13 2/3, 5 hits, 20 strikeouts, and 0 runs allowed. And the emotion for the 10 seed. They will try tomorrow to be the lowest seed to ever win the title, as they will seek their first championship since the very first tournament 27 years ago. Let's take a look at tonight's high-speed play, brought to you by T-Mobile 5G home internet. Down to their last batter, and Jordan Fabian delivers a 2-run home run to win it. And Holly Rowe has a couple of guests with her. Holly?
Well, Jordan, you are in the box. You are down to your final out. If you don't get it done, you guys are going home. What did you see on that pitch to win this game?
You know, I've been struggling the last few days, so I was really just trying to see a ball over the plate and hit the ball, stay through the inside of the ball, because that's what I've been struggling, and, you know, I got it done.
When you are struggling like that, how do you lock in and not let those negative thoughts creep in that moment?
Just know that every pitch has a life of its own, so just move on from one pitch to the next, learn from your other at-bats, and not dwell.
You guys have had such a great run here. Why do you keep believing and delivering in these big moments?
Because we love each other. We're having a great time. We just want to keep shocking the world.
You are shocking the world, and part of the reason is this woman in the circle. When she's in the circle, what confidence do you have before all of it?
All the confidence in the world. You know, she gives us so much energy, so much life, and we just love when she's out there with us.
Okay, you gave up your home run winner chain. Donnie, I think you deserve that. How are you owning this right now, really striking out pitchers and closing this game, or batters and closing out this game?
I'm kind of just doing it for my team. Every inning, they're going at it. They're trying their hardest to get me a hit. And it's just, I'm really just doing it for them, going all out for them.
You had a great back and forth with Denver, and then she got the hit to get on and maybe get a go-ahead run. What does that back and forth like? I saw you guys give a big hug in the handshake line.
Yeah, we honestly just became friends, but we have like a pretty strong bond, and it's all love for Denver, so.
It's a fun back and forth. All right, you haven't been in this situation before, the SEC tournament. Why are you shining on the biggest stage? And you have your team in the championship game now tomorrow.
I wouldn't say it's just me. My team, like I said before, we've worked hard day in and day out, and we deserve to be here. And we all know that we can keep up with all these teams, and every time we get on the field, we're playing for each other. So it's just a really big team effort right now.
All right, the pearls look great on you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Well, terrific finish for Gobourne, but how about Jordan Fabian? She talked about her struggles before the home run, folks. 0 for 9 with 7 strikeouts in this tournament. But the only one they're going to remember is that last one. A 2-run shot that proves to be the game winner. And the lowest seed to advance to a championship game in SEC tournament history lives to play one more day. Coming up next, SEC Studio live from center field. Join us in about 35 minutes right back here on ESPN2 for First Pitch. Now here is Alyssa Lang.